Hello, Mindy. Thank you for being here on the channel.
Hi, thanks for having me. This is great.
It's a pleasure. Welcome, First. And admire your strengths. Admire your strengths. Thank you for your service and
Thank you.
resilience.
Yeah, so I served in the United States Army for 4 years and was a combat medic in the service. And I was stationed in Germany, went to Bosnia, Croatia, and Hungary, served in Colorado Springs for the portion of the service.
And congratulations on your books. Tonight, tell about movies. Your movies.
A few movies, a few independent films, and I'm also going to be in an animation soon as well with Looney Dingo, which is amazing. It's called Metal Earth, and I'm going to be a sunflower in that one.
I be seeing your performance, all your performance.
Oh, good, thank you.
My first question, Mindy, is how would you describe your experience in the first job, One Dead Dog, by Director Stanford?
So the One Dead Dog, I was a criminal in that one, and I was supposed to be stealing cars, and it was kind of like a spoof and a comedy. And it was more or less like I was in a rich neighborhood, and I was trying to get somebody to hurry up and steal the car. And it was just a little scene, but it was kind of a really fun scene to do. It was a couple hours long and one full day.
Wow, that's interesting. To know. It's a good movie. I like this movie. Independence is amazing. Your performance is very good. And thank you for asking. I will back. I saw a film about COVID-19, called Mask Monologues.
I went back and experienced, my friend was committed suicide. And during that time, it was during COVID and everything was shut down. My book was released, and 2 days later, or about a week later, I'd say, COVID hit. But 2 days after I was speaking to a bunch of high school. I was supposed to speak for a bunch of high schools. And after I did one, everything shut down. And so everything was virtual. Filming stopped. All my other projects stopped. Jail didn't allow any gardening because we were supposed to get gardening in there, and that stopped. The budget stopped. Everything went downhill. Crashed and burned. So Masked Monologues, I was asked to give a monologue on my portion of what was going on in my life. And at that time, we were big on, there was a lot of suicides going on, especially with the military, and then people not working and being stuffed in. A lot of divorces were going on. And a friend of mine had kind of hit his tilt, unfortunately. And so he had called me and told me that he had a loaded weapon and that he was drinking and doing a bunch of drugs. And so I brought that instance in with me with the Masked Monologues. And it was super hard to do because I've experienced so many people that have unfortunately died by suicide. And that's why we're also working really hard on getting programs to help first responders and veterans so that we can decrease the suicide rate. And so that's also why I became a nurse in a different section of what I was doing before, and became also a Watsu therapist to help with suicidal ideation, orthopedic issues, and stuff like that. So I kind of brought all of my experience in with Masked Monologues. And then we had to wear a mask at the time. It seemed like we had to wear a mask everywhere. And then you see people wearing masks outside. And I'm like so confused because in the medical world, once you're outside, there's really no rational reason unless you're having like pulmonary issues, or if you have like cancer or something like that, and you have to have that. But it just became a everyday kind of thing. You'd go into the canyon where it's like wide open and you'd see people wearing masks, and it just boggled my mind because of the medical rationale behind it, when a lot of the times masks weren't working. And especially because the mask is going to help protect you if you're wearing the right one and if you're wearing the right size. And a lot of people didn't understand that concept either. So they would take it off to talk and then put it back on. And so it didn't make any sense. So mask monologues went through each person's different perspective and each person's different life stories per se of what they were going through. And mine was really rough because it just seemed like every time I turned around, somebody was either gonna commit suicide, committed suicide, or they were just so depressed that they couldn't get themselves out of the hole. I'm really glad that COVID's over.
The pandemic was a pain. I'm sorry to hear about those times. But life
COVID hit everybody around the world.
But life goes on.
Life
I
goes
understand. On. I got alone and my throat saying this. Your role in mask monologue is shocking. And this question, I'll tell you there's another horror thing, Caleb. I heard T3's whisper. You lend your voice.
I let my voice so I hear trees whisper.
Yes. How was the experience, Mindy? It's amazing thing.
That was fun. I like doing voiceovers, and I look forward to doing another voiceover in Metal Earth again with that animation that he's putting together, Looney's putting together.
Yes. I'm sending you this. You add alongside legends like, an example, Robert Lazardo and Michael Paré is huge big actors in the film Bridge of the Tombs.
Yes, Bridge of the Doom. That was very fun.
Oh, how was the casting? And what was your experience in those legends?
So I got to play another soldier, as I was a soldier before. So being in that role was actually really easy for me to slip into. And it was fun because I had a couple friends that were on the film with me that I carried through. And a couple of them have already passed. Michael Mahal has passed. Joanna has passed, and a few others that were actually on the film, as well as Arena Wars. Both of those films were from Michael Mahal Empire. Unfortunately have passed. And the friends that I have now, some of them were still in those films and still alive. But the ones that have passed on, it just kept reminding me to keep my friends close and to be grateful for the days that I have. And in that film, we were basically supposed to halt a bridge, and it's a zombie film. So it's more like a horror spoof film for that one. And then in Arena Wars, the next film that I played in after Bridge of the Doom, I was just an audience member, and it was enticing the people that were prisoners. And each prisoner had their own little war going on with different characters that were coming out and supposed to be killed. Kill or be killed, basically. So they were both horror movies, but two different types of horror films.
Yeah, I think the words, that movie was good.
Thank you.
And this is a shame that Michael Madsen and Michael Mahal, yes, passed away. It's such a
yeah. There's a couple of them that have already passed away. It's kind of like one of those like poltergeist films where it's like not a curse, but it's like, gosh, there's so many people that have died from these films. Oh no. But that's life too, right? I mean, like you said, life goes on, and a lot of people have felt their passing. But like you said, that's why I cherish the people that are in my life right now and go day by day. Instead of thinking too far ahead, I make sure that I'm present in the moment and present with people when we're speaking or when I go out and do things. I really try to take on the time that I have with the people that I'm with and cherish those moments, because I never know if those moments I could wake up tomorrow and they could all be dead.
In fact, I was even going to ask you, what is life for you?
What is life like for me?
Yes, something about a difficult question. What?
So I every day do something different. I'm a nurse, so I work for the state for people with intellectual disabilities. And so every day can be different and every client is different with that. I'm also a Watsu therapist and a Watsu practitioner, which means I take people into warm water and I do shiatsu massage in the water, in warm water. And that helps with orthopedic issues, people with Parkinson's, people with multiple sclerosis, people that have suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety, and all sorts of issues, basically. So when I bring them in the water, I do about an hour to an hour and a half session, depending on who I'm working with. And by the end of the session, most of my clients have literally said that they feel better, they do better, they respond better. I've had multiple people like that have had strokes and seizures work with, and that was great too, to create an influence for them. And one of the clients had just told me that she was good for 4 months. And I was like, okay, I can't do this that good anymore. But I was just joking with her. I was like, that's great. If you ever need a treatment again, come back and see me. She came for like one more treatment and then she was good for the rest of the time because she had gotten surgery. And then afterwards we were good. So it's nice to see that some people only need a few and others need more. So, I mean, I work with a whole bunch of different people as well as kids too now.
I had a confession. Oh, okay. The nurse are angels. 5 years ago, I got a blood clot in my left leg, and they helped. They are angels and very beautiful in the world and the beauty.
So you hurt your leg? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I had left leg thrombosis.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's
difficult.
scary. Yeah.
I was times half.
Yeah, times are rough when you have problems with the legs and the feet.
But the nurse helping me.
Well, the nurse helped you.
He's an angel, the nurse.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah.
You understand.
That's all right. I was bedbound for 3 years and 8 months. So I really respected everything that I've gone through. And then I went to a place called Accelerator, which is in Medellin, Colombia. And I got stem cells, and that's really what saved my life and saved my sanity, to be honest with you, because I had burning in my left leg. And my left leg, it would burn and then swell, and it would get like this big and then this big. It would look like an elephant's foot, and it would turn purple. And then it would burn from my leg all the way up through my spinal cord to my brain. And then I got what's called HBOT, and that's hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So I'd go into a shell that I have in my house that I got sponsored for and go in and do 2-hour treatments a day. And then when I went to BioAccelerator, I got stem cells placed in my spinal cord, in my head, in my IV, in my legs, in my feet. So I got it all over my body. And it's the only thing that really genuinely worked and saved me. And I gotten 2 previous stem cells in the United States, but they didn't work. And so I really caution the people in getting stem cells, depending on where they're going and where they're at, just because when I went to BioAccelerator, I got 0 to 4 day old cells and they were great. So all I could say is for me, they worked, and it's the best company in the world.
Mindy, it's hard to hear you. Oof.
It's been a life road. You know, I had pancreatitis for 8 years. I have 4 missing organs. I've been in 3 comas, but I've defied every single odd that there possibly is to the human body. So I'm still kicking and still going, and I still smile when I can. Sure, I have bad days, don't get me wrong, but they're far and few between what they used to be.
Every day is a test.
Every day is a test, right? Yeah.
Yes. Another question is how we can tell people to love what they do. Many get off, and it is hard. What message do you have?
So I would say this is what I did. I also created a book and it was called The Resilient Warrior. And this is what it looks like. It's on Amazon.com.
Yes, yes.
And then it has the brief synopsis on the back.
Yeah,
and then I also wrote a children's book called A Dragon's Voice. And that's on Amazon.com as well. And so a resilient warrior basically goes from my lifehood all the way from when I was born to all the way till about 2000, whenever right before COVID started. And so I released this book and then I dedicated it to the writer, creator, and anybody who was on the show called The Vikings. And it was on History Channel as well as Vikings Valhalla. And I had a friend of mine, even O'Keefe, who reached out to me during my medical process in 2015 or 2016, somewhere around that time when I was still struggling a lot. And I was so depressed. And so he reached out to me, heard my story. We became really good friends still today. And he actually wrote a book a couple of years ago as well with my same publisher. And another person in Russia has written their book. People in Australia have written books. So it's really cool to see that one ripple effect can affect so many people. And what I write in my book is that all the medical adversities and all the things that I've gone through, to never give up. Because you never know who you're going to meet and you never know who you can influence. And a lot of people are like, well, why would you care who you influence? Care about who I influence because I really want to make a difference in this world. And until until I croak, till I die, I probably will do my best to help other people as well as exude to myself and try really hard to keep that message going for other people. So I planted a garden and I tell people one seed, one plant, and one garden at a time, which can help the mind because you're growing plants. Well, if you grow a plant for yourself, that's great. But if you grow plants for other people, then it's almost like you're giving something else to the world. Like you're basically making a difference in yourself by growing and then watching the seed grow from a seed to a plant. And then if you're growing vegetables and fruit, you get to bear that fruit and vegetables that you have. So what I say is if you have any extras, like extra vegetables, extra fruit, or if you have a plethora like a farm, maybe you can take one side plant and give that to your neighbors or give it to the homeless or give it to shelters or, do what you can to give. And if you have extra clothes that you're willing to give out extra clothes to the people that are homeless or to the shelters because they really need it, especially in the wintertime, blankets, pillows, anything that I could collect for them, I would do. I would start walking around trying to find homeless people and people were laughing at me at first, but I didn't mind. I was like, oh, I got an extra blanket for you. I'd lift up my, trunk of the car and I'm like, here's a blanket. Are you okay? Do you need anything else? What can I help you with? So after a while, it kind of picked up and other people started doing it. So they laughed at me, then they laughed with me, and then we just laughed together. Because I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. So if you want to join me, come join me. You can laugh while we're going. I'll even make some jokes for you. But let's go. Let's go together. And so you can see this experience. And then they really got onto the experience, and now more people do it. So sometimes you got to get laughed at and be willing to be laughed at, and then people will start joining you. So you never know who you're going to influence.
In the beginning, you answered in this question, and this hard. You guide a message to those who want to pursue medicine and films. Don't give up.
Well, I've talked to many people also that have pursued medicine and asked me how I did it and what I did. And I started from the ground up. So I started in the Army, was a field medic, which is basically an EMT. Got out, did phlebotomy, wasn't excited with that. So I wanted to do something bigger and different. So I went to nursing school, got through nursing school, which was pretty difficult for me because I have a learning disorder. And it's really hard for me to read and have reading comprehension issues till this day. And that's why I wrote Dragon's Voice for kids that have difficulty reading and having help with picturing in their minds. So there's my publisher and I had spoken about this, and he did the illustrations for me. He's my friend named Robbie Grayson. And he's the one who actually did the characters and did my first book publishing called The Resilient Warrior. So both of those books are published by a friend of mine. And our mutual friend, Boone Cutler, was the one who got stem cells first, and then I got stem cells next. And because of that, there's been a plethora of other people that have now gotten stem cells.
Thank you for the as well. It's hard, but thank you for...
Yes, thank you.
Okay, what do you think about the fact that people in Colombia see your films, Latin America knows about you?
I think that it's great. I would love to get the things that are in Colombia in the United States. Like, I would love to get stem cells next I'd love to have the people in Colombia come to the United States and have a company out here. I would love for the FDA to understand that stem cells in itself can be a great bridge, and it's not going to cure people, but it will help. And, those who are diagnosed that have, that are in wheelchairs are able to walk. People with traumatic brain injuries are now able to talk without stuttering. I'm one of them. I was stuttering. I was having seizures all the time. I'm not having those anymore. And so, unfortunately, our medical system in the United States is more of a care, not cure. Because if they cure things, then there's no money or profitization for big pharma. And I think that's wrong. I think that there's a lot of things in Colombia that's really great. Like when I went over there were certain chips that we have that they that were illegal to bring in Colombia because there's all sorts of dyes and all sorts of things that would cause cancer. So they would put on the bag, this is a cancer causing product if you want to eat it. And then they would say on there, this does not have this, or they would say does not contain, and then the list went on. And I was like, my God, if other countries aren't even able to eat our food, what are we eating? Like, what are we drinking? Like, what is in our food and our water that's making us so sick that big pharma is basically making profits off making us sick? And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. However, big pharma, which is the medical companies and doctors and stuff like that, they're making money off people being sick. And that's not something that I am happy about. I would love to see a difference in America, and I would love for America to take on what other countries are doing. And that's like, why can't we cure people? Like, why does this have to be such a profitization of people getting sick?
I confess, I like that everything else where you guys is from the heart.
Yeah, it's always from my heart.
Thank you for the answer.
I would love to come back to Colombia again. I'm really hoping to get stem cells another time so that I can finish the rest of my body to get even better, because I still have a little pain in my neck and my back and my feet. So I would love to get another stem cell utilization because I needed a couple. It wasn't just like a one and done kind of thing. And some people have the hopes of like, oh, it's going to be the best thing ever. Well, it is for certain people. However, my case was so bad. That was probably the worst in the world that they'd ever seen. And so I needed a couple to get to me where I'm at right now.
Again, thank you. Thank you. And there's a movie I forgot about, Brian Hunter New Breed. What's your top 3 horror movies?
I did a few horror films, yes. And there's going to be, I want to say there might be a few more, but I can't say yet. And there's something else that we're working on. A friend of mine and I are going to be working on soon, but I am not allowed to talk about that just yet. So we will be open-minded, and if it comes about, it comes about. In the film industry, I kind of take it day by day because you just never know what's going to actually actualize. And I mean, a lot of people have grandiose ideas of like what they want to do as well. And in this line of field, sometimes people have their dreams and I want them to come true. However, sometimes the budget isn't as well as what they thought it was going to be, so it doesn't come out. But there's another film coming out in October called Clown Motel 3. And that one's a really good one. That one I'm really, really, really stoked about. I played a vampire clown. And there's a bunch of, it's clowns versus the military. So you'll have to wait and see in October to find out who survives and who doesn't survive. And that's Joseph Kelly's film. And he is now in the process of editing the rest of it. For the trailer's already out, so you can see like a mini version of the trailer. But it definitely will be coming out in October, and it's going to be playing in Beverly Hills. And right after that, there's something called, I think, Mad Madness, I want to say. And that's where you go to like the Wax Museum, and some of the money and the profits, I believe, goes to St. Jude for cancer research for kids.
Oh, Clown Motel 3. Oof, who's coming?
Yes, Clown Motel 3 was very, very exciting. That's probably the biggest movie that I've worked on really hard. I got in shape. I studied all my lines for a long time. I got with professionals that have been doing this for over 30, 40 years to make sure that my acting was on point and make sure that if I was going to get into this role, I wanted to really, really play this role. So I called a couple friends of mine and I'd called some teachers of mine in the past. And I was like, I really want to get into this role. I really want you to show me like some things that I could do and just help me out and teach me some things that I can do to enhance my performance.
The performance is Nightfall and there's is amazing actors. Mindy Robinson, Oliver Robbins, Angie Nicole Bravo, Lisa Wilcox.
There's a bunch of people actually from the old horror films like Jason, Saw, Thousand Corp, Saw. And there's a whole bunch of different ones that people have played in Friday the 13th. So, I mean, kind of the original horror films, Joseph Kelly tried to get a bunch of different people from.
He was on the channel Joseph Kelly, as we heard, man, Matt Hoddy too, and Nicole Boulder, Daniel Hazing, and another actor and expert maker, Joe Castro.
Yeah, Joe Castro is really good at
what Castro he does. Is a good makeup.
He was the devil and I was the vampire with him. So there's a couple scenes that you'll see us in together. And he's really good with special effects, really good with makeup, he's really, really on point. And he does a really, really good job. Highly recommend him.
Yeah, I confess another you. I want to see you in many military things. It's great that many heroes, like you can show the world in film, just like in real life.
Yeah, I'd love to do more films.
Yes. How do you define your career in one word?
Oh, how do I define my character in one word? Woo, vicious.
Yes. Same.
And I would love to keep that intensity going for different films or even TV series that I'll be doing. Like if there's a possibility of doing, I would love to do that. So I'm open to doing more films as well.
By the way, there's an upcoming movie, Share Bloody Murder. What can you tell us? I was hurt by his death on Seismo.
So Cheer Bloody Murder was a different one. I'm not really, to be very honest with you, I'm not sure if that one's coming out or not, but there was a lot of key players in that one. It seems like a lot of the movies that people have died in, really. So I don't know what's going on.
I was
It better not be a curse. It might be a curse. I don't know. But, all I could say is they'll have their expiration dates. And I don't know when my expiration date's coming, but I'm probably going to be the one that outlives everybody. I'll probably be here till like I'm 100 or something. But I'm ready to go at any point. If it was my days tomorrow, I've lived up what I wanted to do. I doubt I'm going tomorrow, obviously, because I feel really good. And I don't really have that many issues anymore since I've done stem cells. So I don't know. We'll see how long I live. I'll probably outlive most of my cast members, it seems like. Which is funny, but not.
Mindy, I'm not lying to you. I saw all of them. Congratulations. Serious. Okay, invite people on Colombia, invite people to Colombia, your photo work, and tell us your social medias. Tell us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us your social media, can follow you.
Sure. I'm on Facebook at Mindy Dougherty, MindyDougherty. I'm on Instagram, same name, but it's also WTRGPSY, which is Water Gypsy without the vowels. So again, that's WTRGPSY. I'm on TikTok under Mindy Dougherty. I'm on LinkedIn as Mindy Dougherty, and the same face is on each of the platforms, so that way it's easy to find. Or you can Google me, and I'm sure there'll be something on there with you.
Question, Mindy. Did you have some word favorite in Spanish?
I don't have anything in Spanish yet, but I'm open to doing that if somebody has lines that I can look at, and hopefully they could translate for me. And if it's in Spanish, I'll figure it out.
Super, todo bien.
Está bien means good, yeah? Yeah, it's all good. I know a little bit of words. Yo más entiendo que hablar. Yo necesito muchas prácticas.
It's good. Está muy bien. But sorry for my bad English, but I try okay.
Hey, sounds great to me. At least if I can understand it, that's good enough, right?
Oh, thank you. Okay, let's take very well picture. Perfect, beautiful. Mindy, thank you so much for being here on the channel. God bless you and manage your blessing in your life. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.